Today we are going to be replacing the fuel sending unit in our car. This is one of the, if you guys remember one of the first videos I make, I was troubleshooting the gauge, the gas gauge, and we determined that it was our fuel sending unit that was bad. So finally got around to purchasing one. Here it is. We are gonna install it in the vehicle today, and now we're gonna be able to tell how much fuel we have in the car, because as we all know, that's not fun driving around like that, not knowing how much fuel is in the car or putting too much fuel in the car. So today we're gonna be replacing this. All right, so this is what it looks like. So let's get into it. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drain the fuel that's on the car right now. There is a drain plug on my car on the fuel tank right here. So I have a couple buckets. I don't think there is a lot of fuel in the car right now, mainly because I have been driving it, you know, just taking off for a couple drives, and I haven't put gas in it for a couple weeks now. So whatever gas was in there has been getting used. So I have a couple buckets here. As you guys can see, the drain plug is right. Let's see if I can see it, if I can show you. Drain plug right here. All right, it is a little rusty, so I'm gonna be careful with it, see if I can get it out without messing it up. I'm not looking to get it in a new fuel tank, not anytime soon. So let's see if we can get that out. We have that bucket. We have another one here. Actually, we might start with the big one. All right, so here we go. I had to jack up the car. I thought I was gonna have enough room to do this without jacking up the car, but that's all right. That's what we got the tools for. So we're up. Let's undo this drain plug and hope that there's not a lot of fuel in here. So I'm really trying to be careful that I don't strip this, damage it in any way, because if I do, then guess what? I'm gonna need a new fuel tank. All right, we'll have to hit it with some WD. Let that penetrate for a little bit. All right, so while we let that penetrate, we're gonna disconnect here. Here's our signal line. This is what goes to the gauge. We're gonna unplug this. Set up to the side over here. But let's try this again. Let's try to loosen it up again. You guys can see. This thing is in there. Let's try pushing it up. No, that is just not gonna go. We might just have to drain our fuel from the actual sending unit from here. See how much we can get at from there. So let's do that. So we might release it. So we might just, see if you guys can see, our fuel pump is here. So I might just have to, I might just undo this one right here that connects to the sending unit from here, and that way we can just guide it into the bucket, and then see how much we get like that. Once we're not getting anything from the hose, then I'll unplug it from here and see what else we get from here. All right. All right, so let's do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up this old sending unit, and then hopefully the last of it should come out. Let's put this right here if we get a little splash. Loosen it up slowly and try to take it out as slowly as possible. This is just unscrewing it. Nope. Sorry, got my handy helper over here. Best not to get too much. Oh, there it is. All right, there we go. So this is the way it was sitting in there. That's the way we gotta put our new one in. Looked like it was it's pretty old. This is like corroded. This is the filter that where the fuel goes through first. And then it goes through here into the hose to the fuel pump, and then it gets into the carburetor. But yeah, this does seem like it's pretty beat up, pretty old. That's probably why. And you know, all this corrosion here, this is probably why it's not getting the correct reading anymore. All right, well, out with that, let's put the new one in. So let's set this in there. Carefully. All right, guys, so we finally got our sending unit in there. It was a lot of finagling in there. I had to do it very carefully, but I got it in there. Now it's just tightening it up, making sure that the little rubber, the gasket that was in there, it was kind of hard to set it in place. But there are two kind of guide, I guess, grooves in there that you just gotta go by. Once it's in there, it's set, and I just put the lock ring in there. Now I'm just gonna make sure it's secured. It'll make sure it's secured. All the way to where it stops. And it's right there. Let's see what I'm doing here. Okay, so the hardest part is done was getting the new sending unit in there. So the way to know that is correct, like I said, there's two grooves in there, and then there's two grooves on the sending unit. So you just kind of line them up, and then it'll set in there, and then you secure it with the ring that comes with it. That's a new ring, and there was also a new gasket in there, so that's secured. Now what I'm gonna do is probably cut this hose a little bit. Actually, it might be good right there. I'll probably just strain it out, put it back into the fuel pump, and then the other end back into the sending unit, and then we'll put the fuel back in there. So let's insert this one back in here first. All right, make sure it's in there good. Clamp back over here. Eventually I am gonna get a new tank But for now, this is what really needed to get repaired, is making sure that we can make sure that we know how much fuel we have in here. Oh, God. Put a clamp first. God, there's still a little bit of fuel in here. Okay, there we go. All the way in there. Right about there. We don't want it right at the edge of it. All right, guys, it's an easy repair. I think what took the longest for me is the draining of the tank, because this the drain plug on the tank is pretty corroded in there. It didn't loosen up, and then draining the tank from the actual sending unit. You guys saw I got a lot of fuel on my hands. Okay, that's good in there. Feel good about everything else. Let's plug in our wire.